Right side, Jones with plenty of room. Phoenix Jones takes this Aztecs drive right from the ashes, and it rises for a first down at the 34.
Great run there, and great vision there by Phoenix Jones to get it to the outside. As you see, that big old lineman just there, big old number 72, Robert Fett, just opening a hole for Phoenix Jones to go through, and a big first down.
Need more of that out of Phoenix Jones. Only had 872 yards last season. Did find the end zone 8 times, but they would like to get a little more production out of him. Here is Wilson on a new set of downs, throws the out route there, and Fox Highwind gets some knock on him there from his former team.
Yeah, Tanner Hendricks kind of reintroduced himself. He goes, "Hi, hello, welcome me. You remember me? I'm still here." What a hit.
Not sure if there is any bad blood there. Hendricks, the GM here for this London team, possibly had some conversations with Highwind about returning, and like you said, reintroduces himself. 2nd and 7. Wilson, a little bit of a shuffle pass there. I mean, he really could have kind of handed that one off there, and it's Ray Bentley, the fullback, who picks up 9.
That was a great throw there by Matt Wilson, just stepping up in the pocket, saw Ray Bentley there wide open. Like you said, it was just like a long handoff, but a great play to bring up 3rd and short.
Wilson was almost whispering in his ear. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to throw this to you." And on 3rd and a yard, it's Bentley who's stuffed and can't get it. Coming up to make the play was Sirach Black, and that rookie gets the London defense off the field.
The first 3rd down conversion that Mexico City does not convert on. They were 4 for 4 coming in to that play, and Sirach Black makes sure that the offense goes back on the field for London. Great play by the rookie, 32nd overall pick from Albuquerque.
Played for the Adams in the SFL minor league, now playing in London across the pond. And London will take back over 1st and 10 on their 27. Gerald with an opportunity here to jump out in front. And for the Knights, who historically have struggled, right, have not had a career season over 600 in franchise history, to start 2-0 would be incredible. It would match their win total from both season 14 and season 15. And the only way to win the game is to at some point lead it. And the only way to win it is to lead it at the end. But hey, a lead at any point is a good starting point. And that will go for -1 yard, the run there from Merrill.
Tioro there on the stop. I agree with you. They need to get a little bit more, I would say, more progressive with their offense. To, get some more passes deep down the field. Those passes can only do so much.
Here is the give. Merrill not going to get anywhere again. Coming right up to make the play there for the Mexico City Aztecs is Dexter Jackson. This linebacking core for the Aztecs not to be messed with. Tough sledding so far.
Horrell, Watson, and Jackson, you have some fantastic tacklers that can hit you, and they're showing it right now on 3rd and 12.
Here is McLean. Great protection. Wide open receiver. What a completion to Vincalia. First down to the 46.
Vincalia, though. Big wide receiver there. 6'2", 201 pounds. As you see, that little sidearm flick. If that would have been in front of him, that might have gone for a little bit more yards. But either way, that's a great first down conversion for the London Knights, and it gets him on close to midfield.
Nice completion there. That's what they need out of McLean, and it sets up a new set of downs here with 5 to go. Deep shot, and that is incomplete. Oh, Antayumi was tested, and he almost came down with a big play.
Antayumi just laid out to get that pick and almost came up with it. If that ball was thrown just a little bit further, that would have been 6. And as we talked about Jeffrey Deggs, who had the interception earlier, 4 straight seasons that they have combined for at least 13 interceptions. Last year they combined for 15. So definitely the dynamic duo in the backfield.
Here is the give out to Merrill, and you said it. Dynamic duo back there, but their secondary across the board is good. Zarin Pryor returns. Jack Napier back again. Greg Gaines is there too, coming over last season at 6'4", 200. So not to be tested, and when you combine it with these linebackers, this Mexico City defense, tough to play against at many different levels. 4 wide here on a big third down. That out route is caught, but not able to turn the corner there for London. The catch was made by Corey Tuff, the fullback, and he may be tough, but he is not agile on the sideline.
Now that there was just only a three-man rush there, and he basically had to get rid of the ball because there was just nowhere to throw it. I was going to bring up 4th down and see if they can pin him inside the 20 here with this punt.
JT Delaney, the third-year man punter, will kick this one away, try and pin Mexico City deep. He is a specialist, and he is on to try and put it down. It's going to bounce at the 6, bounce at the 2, and London cannot field it. It is into the end zone for a touchback.
Oh, that is just heartbreaking because Delaney did everything right, and the ball just happened to find its way in the end zone. Last week with 3 punts, he pinned them inside the 20 twice. So, like you said, he is a specialist in that fact. It just went into the end zone just a little bit too far.
First and 10 again here at the 20 for this Aztecs offense, trying to get moving again. Wilson across the middle. Wow, a beautiful throw there. Just looked like he was confident firing to Highwind.
Highwind with another catch. Had 4 catches last week for 27 yards. Wilson's not afraid to sling the football. As you say, that was a perfect pass. Only basically where he could get it, because if he would have let him, there would have been 2 receivers. There would have been 2 defenders right there. One being Sirach Black. So great play there by the veteran.
Highwind coming off his rookie season right here in London, returns the season following, playing in a different uniform. Wilson to throw again, fires on the out route, caught, turning upfield, and that is first down yardage to that man again, the Fox.
Fox Highwind coming up big once again, as you see, like I said earlier. Look at that, 9 touchdowns as a rookie last year for these London Knights, or for the London Knights, I should say. Now with the Aztecs, 64, just under 1,000 yards. He is going to be a fantastic receiver and have a good career here in the SFL.
First and 10 again from the 42. Mexico City been moving the ball well. Jones right up the middle. Jones still on his feet, and he picks up 9. A strong run.
Strong run indeed there. Looked like he was going to get tackled like right at the line of scrimmage, maybe for a 1-yard gain, but just lowered his shoulders and kept those big legs turning and gets 9, brings up 2nd and 1.
3 receivers wide, 2 backs in the backfield. Wilson throws a wobbler across the middle. Mike Daggs used to catching those wobblers from the Bronze Bomber, and he'll pull it in at the 36, where it's first and 10 again.
You have an offense here with Wilson and Daggs. You can see Daggs is a nice little, well, that might have been tipped at the line, but somehow got there. It was a great kid, but like I was going to say, you have Daggs, 7-year vet. They have K.L. Barrett, a 9-season vet. I have Wilson, an 11-season vet. Bentley, an 8-season vet. You have so much continuity on this offense. It should work well.
Up the middle, Jones able to pick up 6, a strong carry, and let's take you through this London Knights defense quickly. Dean Sammy, Chris Joseph, William Davidson, and Chad Rowland make up the front 4. Jeff Gagne, Sirach Black, Telemac Scarborough are the linebackers. Tanner Hendricks, Brandon Ewing, Emmanuel Blackman are the cornerbacks. Marquise Reed and Barry Barkley are the safeties, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Tight-fought game here in London. 7-3, Aztecs on top and in the Knights' range. Let's see if they can put more on the board. Back here in London, England, Mexico City sets up for 2nd and 4. 2 minutes on the clock before the halftime break. Wilson looking, pressured, and hit, and down he goes. The pressure for the London Knights rings home, and they get a stop. William Davidson
along with Dean Sammy combine on that sack, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long for this Mexico City defense. Mexico City offense that just might have knocked them out of field goal range.
It is definitely close. Another one would do it. Let's see if the Knights can pin their ears back. Pressure, and down he goes again! Matt Wilson to the turf. Chris Joseph, flex on him, young man.
Chris Joseph comes up with a big sack there to knock him out of field goal range, and absolutely had a fantastic week last week. 5 tackles, had 4 of them for a loss, and you see the sack there. He had 7 all of last season, coming up big already with his 5th of the season early in game 2.
Doubles his sack total in season 16. Meanwhile, also knocks Mexico City out of scoring range, and they will have to punt back to the Knights. Low snap on the punt. They get it away, and the Knights are going to let this one bounce at the 9, bounce at the 4, and it'll go down to the 5. Nice job by the Mexico City special teams and Zarin Pryor.
As Zarin Pryor downs a punt at the 5 for George Amy. As you see, just great presence right there. Unlike what happened with London's punt, they actually got to down it inside the 5. And this is going to be dangerous territory right now if you're London. I think with 45 seconds left, you don't want to make any mistakes. You just want to get in the half, only being down 4.
2 receivers split out, single back. Here's McLean on a 5-step drop, swings it out to Merrill, and he'll get a yard and step out of bounds. At the half, Cam and Mike break down the first half, provide updates on the Fort Worth, Louisiana battle, and we'll sit down with Vancouver Legion wide receiver Kendra Hall in her first sit-down interview since signing with the Legion in this offseason. It's all coming up on the SFL Halftime Report. You don't want to miss it. Coming up here very shortly. McLean will give left side and a little bit of room for Merrill. He'll pick up 7. Almost broke that one.
Yeah, Merrill just like a 1 missed tackle away from breaking that. I am surprised Mexico City hasn't called a timeout here on 3rd and 3 here. Being that they're inside their own 20, they could have great field position here, but I guess they're going to be happy to maybe just let the clock run out.
2 backs in the backfield, 3rd and 3 they give. Merrill has the first down yardage, and that will finish out the first half. Some strong running from Merrill for these London Knights, and they will take the 4-point difference into the halftime break. Aztecs a single score lead, 7-3 on top of the London Knights. Gerald, it was a quick first half. These 2 teams' defenses are playing lights out.
They're playing well. As you can see, look at the time of possession. Almost dead even. The 2 turnovers for Mexico City, believe it or not, hasn't really hurt them, as they only got 3 points from them. The London Knights have only gotten 3 points from those turnovers. As you see the interception rate, one of the interceptions that Matt Wilson threw, that was in the first quarter. Touchdown that they have right now is big, because it looks like London cannot move the football. And while Mexico City's 4 for 6 on 3rd down, London is 2 for 8. They got to do a little bit better than that if they want to be in the football game. As you saw Phoenix Jones right there run it in from 2 yards for the only touchdown of the ball game.
These 2 teams will obviously make halftime adjustments. Matt Wilson, 13 of 15, 111 yards. Angus McLean, 11 of 16, 58 yards. Leading tackler for London is defensive tackle Chad Rowland. Leading tackler for Mexico City is Dexter Jackson, the outside linebacker. Interceptions for Jeffrey Daggs, Jeff Gagne, and Barry Barkley. are kind of the tale of this tape. These two teams have had small yardage games via the ground, big ones through the air. Some turnovers have plagued us, and we are in a low-scoring battle. Gerald, it almost seems like the next team to score might win this game.
Oh, I agree. I mean, you had a big defensive play there on the last drive there by London to have 2 sacks, one by Davidson, the other one by Rowland, to get them out of field goal range, which that could have put them down 7, but they're close within 4. It's going to be a great second half.
SFL Halftime Report is next with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green after this.
Paging the offenses. Welcome to the SFL Halftime Report. 7-3 is the score between Mexico City and London. London has less than 100 yards of offense, Mike, in the first half. What's that about?
Yeah, defenses have definitely taken center stage at this ball game, but to be honest, that's how London wants it to be played. They wanted the defense to control the ball game, keep it low scoring, and keep the offense in it.
They won 20-10 last week, so I get what you're saying there. But Mexico City, just like last week, a little flat on offense. They are winning, but they lost to Charleston due in part to some slow-moving offense in the first half. And don't look that much better here today, just about 150 yards of total offense.
Yeah, basically a Jeffrey Daggs interception put them in scoring position there early, and Phoenix Jones cashed in with a touchdown. But yeah, Mexico City still struggling to get anything going on offense.
And just when you think, well, we should check out Fort Worth and Louisiana and see all the points they're scoring. Well, that hasn't happened either yet. Second quarter in Louisiana, a scoreless game with an over-under from our friends at Jack Stata at 71.5. Oops. What's going on over there?
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on this ball game. It's been played in the middle of center of the field for most of the part, thus far. Johnny Pickler tried to get something going early in the passing game. Hasn't really, come to pass. Try to get Reggie Streeter going late in the first quarter. He hasn't really done much yet. So we'll see if anything turns around in that game.
Watch for the deep ball in that Louisiana game that's on the SFL Twitch channel. Pickler wound up and unloaded, but Fort Worth brought like 7 guys, and they got to him just as he was about to throw. I'm guessing there may have been a receiver wide open down there. Maybe that plays better later on in that game, but scoreless between Fort Worth and Louisiana. They're 7-3. Mexico City leads London at our half. Well, coming up in our second block of games here this afternoon, Vancouver takes on Atlanta on the SFL Twitch channel. The SFL, the Season 15 Championship rematch between Sioux Falls and Baltimore will be seen on For the Fans. But the Vancouver-Atlanta rematch features Atlanta blowing a 23-0 lead and giving that playoff game away, Vancouver ending up getting the win. Well, Kendra Hall was a part of that game. She caught the last pass of that game for Atlanta, the last pass of Atlanta's season as they tried to come back and win that one. She signed with Vancouver in the offseason to join her husband, Nate Hall, who is also on Vancouver, and me and Mike had a chance to sit down with Kendra earlier this week. Take a look. And we're here with Kendra Hall, wide receiver for the Vancouver Legion, here in the center of myself and Mike. How you doing, Kendra?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're doing good.
We're awesome. We are awesome. So I have to ask, Kendra, last season you played opposite your husband, Nate Hall, who played for Vancouver. You played for Atlanta.
Yes.
Now the two teams are playing each other later today, and you and Nate had some good old-fashioned back and forth on podcasts, and just good smack talking within the league. But now you're playing with your husband, so how does that feel? Do you wish it was back to the way it was, or does it feel good?
So I'm going to be honest, it really hasn't changed. It's not more of like the smack of we're on different teams. It's more of the smack of my player's better than yours. So
Ouch.
we will like compete even though we're still on the same team. We're individually competing, so it hasn't even changed.
Great. And yeah, Kendra, as Cam mentioned, you're on the same team with Nate, and Vancouver had huge shoes to fill at the wide receiver position. What was the final deciding factor of you joining Vancouver?
Like I told Andy when we first started talking, I need to find where I belong. I need to dip my toes into different places and try to figure out where I should be sitting. So that's why I think that was the deciding factor. There was getting another opportunity to play for another team and try to figure out where I belonged.
Right. And as we fast forward to later today, huge matchup, probably one of the bigger matchups on the schedule today. You returning to Atlanta after they brought you in kind of midway through the season last season. You made some big plays for them last season. How does it feel about going up against your old team?
It's bittersweet. I told them, I've reached out to them a few times since I've joined Vancouver, and AJ's podcast, we had talked about the game. And so it's bittersweet. It's kind of sad and happy and all at the same time, but I'm neutral with that game. Yeah, I want to win, but I'm okay if any of them win.
I'd be remiss if we didn't mention that you were taking over for the late Rich Pratchard over there in Vancouver, and that's not an easy task for anyone to take over. You've probably been asked this question maybe 2 or 3 times, but does that make this season maybe any more special or any more important to you?
I feel like it makes it special and important. I didn't know Rich in a personal level, but obviously my husband was in the locker room with them, and I could see how they were bonded as a family. I am going to be honest, at first, when I was asked to fill that position, I was kind of like, I don't know if I can do that. But I had to think about it. And Andy reminds me on a daily basis that I'm an individual person. It's not about the position, but it's about who you are. Because I just, like you said, it's big shoes to fill. And so I was like, I don't even know if I can fill those shoes where it was left. But I think it's more special. I had that opportunity to push his legacy on as my individual, to just show that he was special.
There's plenty of women in this league, Kendra. You got Ashley Jackson, and you've got Rochelle Colston, and a lot of people in prominent positions as well. And the list goes on and on. We're up to about 20 in the league,
Wow.
but that's not the norm, right? That means that we have over 500 men in the league. So the women are still the minority in that sense. But it's important that the SFL, let the audience understand that this is a girls' game too. I mean, it's a chance to kind of level that playing field. What does it feel like, kind of, not necessarily being in a man's world of football, but being wanting to get more women involved and bonding with the other women in the league? Because I know that you guys have hit it off in various ways sometimes.
Yes. So being the minority, for say, of being a woman, I don't think it has changed my views or perspectives. We're all on the team, obviously the men players on the field, but it's not those players who define you, it's who you are individually. And so we have bonded so much. Ashley will tell you, I bug her all the time to make sure, see how she's doing, how's her dad doing, just to talk. And we've had where we've been on phone calls for hours just talking. And so we all have to stick together because, like you said, it's a division full of men, so you've got to find where you can kind of fit in more with what we feel, because our brains work differently than men's do. So if
No.
I you invent, you're gonna look at me like no. So
Well,
gotta have that look.
it's great to have you here and all the women here too, and obviously we want to reach out to more of them and show them that the SFL is a place where everybody can play and have a good time. And you killed it last week. And before we go, I'd be remiss if you've brought it up a couple times about talking about the individual, who you are. Kendra, who are you? How do you answer that question just as an individual?
I would feel like I'm an individual. I'm a very independent individual. I think my husband will tell you that. But I'm also that individual that I wear my heart on my sleeve like everyone else does. My husband will tell you I put everyone else first before my needs, just because I'm that caring individual that wants to help everyone, even though I can try to help and it's impossible, but I will continue to try until someone says, okay, you're done. Walk away, let's go. And so I'm that type of individual where I reach out to everyone and make sure everyone's okay because they need that person.
Kendra Hall, wide receiver of the Vancouver Legions, takes on her former team later today, the Atlanta Swarm. That's on the SFL Twitch channel. We'll have bonus coverage and live look-ins on that, as well as we show in full the championship rematch between Sioux Falls and Baltimore. Kendra, it was great. It's great having you here, and good luck later today.
Thank you.
Hey, good luck, Kendra.
Mike and I will be back for second half game breaks and analysis as we move forward today on the SFL. This is the SFL Halftime Report. We'll be right back.
We return to London after the halftime break. Want to thank Cam and Mike for having a wonderful halftime there, giving Gerald and I a chance to hit the buffet line before we return to action. And the kick is away. Mexico City will start this second half off with the ball, and Bartley with a nice return here out to the 25-yard line. Gerald, it was an interesting first half. If you like defense, this is the game for you.
Oh, definitely. I love the defensive battle. It just makes it, I mean, it might not be that much fun to watch because there's no points being scored, but I just love the chess match between the coaches and the players. It's just an amazing game to watch. Let's see if they can open it up here in the second half.
4-3 look out of London to start this second half off. Wilson going to throw, out route, tipped up and incomplete. Nice defensive play there by Black.
Derek Black with a big pass deflection early in this for the first play of the second half. And Wilson, it's one of the, I think that's his first pass that actually hit the ground. 13 for 16 with 2 picks. So first pass of Matt Wilson's on the day to hit the ground. Luckily for him.
Had a very good first half other than the 2 interceptions. Had 111 yards, and they will try and get it going here again. Twins to the top of the screen. They will throw it out that way. Wow, what a defensive play. Oh, the speed to break on that football. That's a play that will not make any highlight reels, but man, Tanner Hendricks cut quick on that one.
Tanner Hendricks just read Wilson's eyes right there and just made a great play as he was looking for Fox Highwind. He just read the eyes perfectly, as you saw, on his way back, and then just absolutely just sprinted forward. Like you said, it's gonna be a pass deflection in the stat book, but that's a big play.
He covered 5 yards in the time that the ball was out of Matt Wilson's hands and heading towards Fox Highwind. Incredible. 3rd and 10 throw there is tipped up and incomplete. 3 incompletions, and the Knights defense makes a stand.
Eric Toney there with the stop. 3 straight pass deflections for that London Knights defense, and they came out buzzing here, trying to get the ball back in good field position for the offense.
So Mexico City gets 0 yards on the opening drive of this second half. The London Knights defense buckles their chin straps and says, hey, no further, none shall pass. And the Aztecs have to kick it away. Punt is gone here. London Knights will bring it out from their own 35 across the 40 out to the 42. Well, Fort Worth and Louisiana were all knotted up at 0. They are no more. Let's go back to the SFL studios for a game break.
Mike, we have points in Louisiana.
Yeah, following a Tank Bennett interception, Louisiana gets on the board. Reggie Streeter running on tackle with a 6-yard touchdown run. Louisiana up 7-0 midway through the second.
Fort Worth now trying to answer back to Andy and Gerald and the rest of the crew in London.
Thank you, Cam. Tight battle over there and another tight one over here. Defense is showing out here in Sunday's slate of Week 2 games, but Angus McLean finds his receiver there for first down yardage.
Great throw there to Dustin Zek, second-year wide receiver. One of the shorter receivers in this game, just 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. It is a great target for Angus McLean. Big first down.
Shotgun look here for McLean on Mexico City's side of the field at the 43. McLean all day to throw, slings it underneath, and Zach can't hold on.
That was a dangerous pass. If that was any less accurate, that could have been a pick. That was only London's 4th first down of the football game. So they need to get a couple more first downs here, because that's not going to win you many football games.
2nd and 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Over under today set at 48.5. We are at 10 currently, so if that's true, we have a lot of scoring on the slate. Merrill with some room down this left sideline. Robert Merrill down to the 28.
And that's what Mexico City had to try to avoid, because Merrill out of the backfield as a receiver is absolutely fantastic. If you think he's not a receiving threat, he has 300 and 55 carries, 579 receptions. That tells you how they use him out of the backfield, and that was just a great play to get the second first down in this quarter.
Former wide receiver turned running back, has played there for a few seasons now, and gets the job done for London. They are now inside Mexico City's 30. Out route there, almost jumped. Wow. They are testing these Mexico City Aztecs defensive backs, and Zieron Pryor almost made him pay.
Aaron Pryor almost got his second interception of his career, having the first one last week. Ball went right through his hands. That was a dangerous pass, trying to find Dustin Zek.
4 receivers wide, 3 in a bunch to the bottom. Single back is Merrill against a 3-3 out of the Aztecs. Quick throw there is tipped up and incomplete. Just trying to find the receiver there. Dags on the coverage. Keep up with the SFL and his teams on social media at Simulationfl. Follow and subscribe to all the channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and even TikTok. From teams to podcasters, final scores to major highlights, SFL Social has you covered. London here, big 3rd and 10 in front of them, trying to move the chains to keep this drive alive, find themselves down by 4. Here is McLean on a short drop, well blocked for, and he finds a receiver down on the outside to the 21, catches made by Saren Storm.
Saren Storm with the catch and kept them in field goal range. We saw what happened in one of Mexico City's late drives in the first half, where 2 sacks knocked them out of field goal range. That time, McLean stood his ground, actually hit a check down receiver to keep them in the field goal range to probably get them within 1 point. Very smart play by Angus McLean.
Yeah, and you're 100% right there, Gerald. Is the 4th overall pick. Jack Lewis will send this one up and through from 37. You're exactly right. You know, cutting that lead from 4 to 1 for London is huge because it gives them the opportunity for one play, you know, to put them in range to take the lead. You know, at a 4-point game, agreed that it's still that one play, but to cut it down to a single point gives you the opportunity then, let's say Mexico City scores a touchdown. It's still a 1-possession game there if you can convert a 2-point conversion. So a lot of people will see that field goal, and I agree with them, you know, would like to have a touchdown there, but the field goal is better than nothing. So taking them out of range would have been rough. So for London, that is still a success, and now you can rely on your defense to make a stand here. Bartley had to retreat to field that one, and the field position will reflect that as he will only get out to the 19.
And that 1-point difference, if this stays to the 4th quarter and this score is 7-6, it's a heck of a lot different having to go maybe at the 20 and you're in your last 2 minutes. You're only going to have to go maybe 50 yards or 60 yards instead of going 80 to win the game. So that field goal was huge.
In a tight game like this, any points are good points. 4 wide here for the Aztecs. Matt Wilson throws, and that is a penalty. The defender was all over him, Gerald.
Yeah, that's an easy pass interference call. I mean, that was going to be a big play, and the defender had no chance. Barry Barkley had no other alternative. Easy for me to say, just to make a PI and give them a free first down.
I don't think we need to harp on it. I mean, that was egregious, and the flag needed to come out. But if you're London, I think you accept a couple of those. Like, you're fine with being overly aggressive as opposed to the counterpoint of not being aggressive enough, right? With the first week that Matt Wilson had, if over-aggressive gets you another interception or two, and under-aggressive, you know, lets Matt Wilson throw where he wants, I think you're fine with a couple of those penalties. Give Ray Bentley up the middle. He'll pick up 2.
And Max Scarborough there on the tackle, and I totally agree with you. I mean, you're willing to take that. It was only a 12-yard penalty that got to the 31. It's better than having, like you said, maybe a 20, a 30, or heck, even an 81-yard touchdown pass. So they'll take that once in a while.
3 receivers wide for Wilson here on 2nd and 8. Wilson, out route is caught here on the bottom of the screen. Fox Highwind continues to be a thorn in the side of these London Knights.
Definitely. Yeah, a couple of pleasantries exchanged there by the former teammates. Alex Highland's having a fantastic game. Might not have the yardage, but he has 5 catches for 40 yards. But his catches have been in important spots of the game.
Here is the give, right side, Phoenix Jones with a little bit of room. Jones through one. Phoenix Jones off to the races and out to the 40, and he is going to flex on the London bench.
Phoenix Jones with a great run right there. Was following his blocker and then actually ran past him. You see the guard number 72, Robert Fett, and he just bowls over Barry Barkley, getting that first down. And that's exactly what Mexico City needed. Is after starting inside their own 20, they're now a first down away from field goal range.
Yeah, a little bit of strength and power never hurt any teams, and the Aztecs definitely could use some of it in the run game. 4-3 look out of the Knights. They'll give to Ray Bentley right up the gut, and Bentley is going to pick up 3 before he is wrestled to the ground there by Jeff Gagne.
William Davidson got in there really quick and absolutely pancaked the offensive lineman. Ray Bentley just calm and cool, just sidestepped him and gained 3 yards. The veteran that he is.
Watch Mike Daggs here in the slot. Here's Wilson to throw. Wilson's going to dump it out of the backfield over there to Ray Bentley. Bentley on the sideline. First down and out of bounds at the 28.
How did you let that man that wide open? It's not like he's a rookie. There's a great tackle there by Tyler Scarborough, but wow, he was wide open, and that could have been a bigger gain, but it still gets them the first down, and they're inside the 30.
Down here at the 28, you got to remember the back of the end zone at a certain point becomes a boundary here that London can use. Give up the middle, Phoenix Jones. Jones through one and into the SFL red zone down to the London Knights 20-yard line.
He's running with a purpose here in the second half, just burying his shoulder and actually being the more physical of himself and the defender. Great running, strong running here to start this third quarter by Phoenix Jones.
London in a 4-3 again, 7 in the box. Their only purpose is to stop the run. Give, Bentley. Bentley re-angles, has the first down, and Ray Bentley down to the 14 with one of his best runs of the season.
That's just a veteran running back, or a fullback in this case, just running right up to the line and just instinct, and just felt the hole there on the left-hand side and just scooted around there for a first down. And Mexico City is moving the ball quite well.
3 wide, Wilson pressured. Oh, it's a fumble! A backwards pass is scooped up by a big boy. He's going the wrong way, and down he'll go at the 27. What a play for the London Knights defense.
I thought we were going to have a Jim Marshall replay right there from way back in the day for the Vikings, but they're calling it a backward pass. I thought it was going to be ruled a fumble. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be an interesting call because the yards lost could be huge.
Nicky Gushin was the one who picked it up. Let's look here. Wilson got turned around as he was being tackled. That's close, Gerald. What do you think?
Are we gonna see the tuck rule involved here with this one? And I think it's probably going to be ruled. I think it should be ruled a fumble or an incomplete pass, not a backward pass.
And they will rule it incomplete. Mexico City with a good challenge will save themselves quite a bit of field possession, almost 10 yards there, and they will keep the ball where it was. So London has to buckle up the chin strap and defend 14 yards here.
Yeah, I mean, 2nd and 10 for Mexico City is a lot better than 2nd and 20 plus. They got away with one there.
2 in the backfield. Bentley right in front of Phoenix Jones. They give to Jones. Left side, Bentley leading the way. Jones through one. Jones, first down, touchdown. Oh, Phoenix Jones with the power. 6 for the Aztecs.
Wow, what determination. Well, just watch this run here. As you said, watch Bentley just take on, and then again runs right over Barkley, and then just absolutely dragging Sirach Black into the end zone. That's right there is a man that did not want to be stopped. Got to the paint, makes it a 13-6 ball game, 14-6 extra point pending.
He would not be denied. A 10-play, 81-yard drive is capped off by an electric 14-yard touchdown rush from Phoenix Jones, with Ray Bentley leading the way. Aztecs on top, 14-6. We will step aside and be right back after a short break. You're watching the Simulation Football League on For the Fans. A cloudy evening tonight here in London, England, the capital of the United Kingdom. 38 degrees and 8-mile-per-hour winds accompany tonight's Week 2 contest between the London Knights and the Mexico City Aztecs. And the Knights, with a little bit of a spark here, Zach returns it out to the 26. I'm Andy Hamilton. Joining me in the booth, Gerald Giudice. Gerald, after that last run from Phoenix Jones, that field goal from earlier for the Knights is vital.
Oh, definitely, because if that ended up with no points, you're looking at a 2-score game, and it's now still a 1-score game. Yeah, you need to have the 2-point conversion along with your touchdown, but you're still within 1 score, which is important.
McLean here to throw, fires, going up to get it was Benji Matson, the tall tight end, hauls it down at the 40.
6'6", 260, one of the taller tight ends in the league, makes a great reception right there. As McLean looks to and puts it high enough to where the defender, number 23, could not. Greg Gaines, 6'4", just do it high enough so that he can be out the outstretched hands of Greg Gaines. Great play, first down.
3 receivers wide. Angus McLean in the gun against a 3-3 look out of these Mexico City Aztecs. Pressure coming. McLean unloads. Oh, fits it in a window. Wow, how'd you do that, young fella?
A window. That's like one of those back windows in those old cars that only goes like diagonal. That's just an amazing throw. I have no idea how it got there. Robert Merrill somehow corrals that football in, and they're already on Mexico City side of the field.
Well, and for a halfback, I don't care if he was a former receiver, for a halfback to make that catch. McLean loads the cannon, fires near side, caught on the sideline. Vin Kalia makes the grab, and that just goes to show you, Gerald, these London teams, they don't always get the best players, but when they pick up on some of these players, like Kalia, who was a mid-season free agent, they're picking up gems.
Oh, they're definitely picking up gems, as you see here. 41st overall pick with Sharon Storm. Then you have the 55th with a great linebacker, Tally Max Scarborough, undrafted free agent, and Brandon Ewing. And like you said, Vin Kalia, a great pickup mid-season. Just, you don't need to find, tip-top players. You can find players that fit in your system and fit well. They can do wonders for your team.
That season 14 pickup sticking with the Knights, and right now they are in this game as much as anyone is as they flip it out to Robert Merrill. Gerald, they're seeking their first 2-0 start in franchise history.
Yep, they started this season with a 2010 win over the DC Dragons, and they are trying to go 2-0, and that's really big for them because their last two seasons they have only had 2 wins in each of those 2 seasons, so they're trying to get off to a really hot start.
Oh, that's not the way to get that drive continued as Merrill is blown up in the backfield. Mexico City was there in a hurry, and Ronnie Watson, we hadn't called his name this half, but he wanted to make sure he found his way on the stat sheet.
That was a great play there by Watson to not let him try to break it on the outside, so it's a 3rd and 12 there. Angus McLean's got to watch the sack here because they can knock him out of field goal range.
McLean in the gun with 2 protecting him. Plenty of time. Fires across the middle again. Puts it in a phone booth. And it's hauled in for first down yardage by Kalia.
Kalia again with a great catch. And Angus McLean is throwing darts right now. Look at that.
Wow.
Somehow just got it under the arm of Dexter Jackson, who had great coverage. That window was closing quick, and he found the way to get it through the opening. What a throw, and they're inside the red zone.
Trying to capitalize here from the Aztecs 15. Here is McLean again. Throws underneath. That one is caught for 4 yards. Another catch for Vin Kalia.
Vin Kalia with his, I think, 3rd catch on this drive alone. Having a field right now, 56 yards on 3 receptions here. Let's see if they can pop it in there at the 11.
McLean has completed 21 passes. And let's see if they go to the air or the ground here. Merrill in the backfield. This will be his 30th pass of the game, and it is incomplete. Was trying to fit it underneath there to Tony Phillips. Could not make it happen. Watson was Johnny on the spot again.
Yeah, Watson just looking at him, just got his hand in there just to knock the ball away. So it's going to be a big 3rd and 6 here. If you're Angus McLean, I say you look for your big tight end, number 40, Benji Madsen here, maybe on a corner route here to get him like inside the 5 or actually in the end zone.
Madsen not on the field here on 3rd and 6. They can get the first down without getting in the end zone. They throw, and it's just outside of the outstretched arms of the receiver, Sharon Storm. He could not haul it in, and that is heartbreaking if you're a Knights fan.
Just out of the reach. I think McLean could have held on to that ball just a little bit more. I think he felt the pressure and just got rid of the ball just a little bit too quick. That's going to bring up 4th down and a field goal attempt here to still make it a 1-score game. But this time a touchdown will give them the lead. So it's not over yet for the Knights.
When you just got to think, being late here in the 3rd quarter, will they get back to this area of the field with a chance to score again? Kick is up and good. That makes it 9-14, a 5-point difference with 2:17 to go in the 3rd.
Well, Matt Wilson's already has had 2 interceptions in this game, so he's proven that he can be intercepted if he gets pressured. So, and London's defense is absolutely playing fantastic. So, I mean, anything's possible, but they need to stop here because Mexico City had a very, very good drive last game. last drive, fixing the run and the pass.
Bartley down to the 25-yard line, and you're right, that's where Matt Wilson will bring this offense back out onto the field. You've been a little quiet from KL Barrett since that big first half. He started out 5 catches on 5 targets. Since then, has not been targeted. 52 yards in that first quarter. Hasn't been targeted in this, or hasn't caught a ball in the second or third so far. Bunch formation. Mike Daggs to the bottom of your screen, split out as a receiver. Here is Wilson. Wilson fires, and Mike Daggs, the big man, drags the feet and stays in bounds right in front of London's coaching staff.
What a play. That is just concentration. That's just a quarterback and a tight end that has had 7 seasons experience, just knowing where they're going to be and just throw the football. Just a great timing play. And that just comes from season after season of experience with those two.
Wilson alone in the gun against a 4-3. This spells some trouble for someone. Here is the throw, and it is out of the outstretched arms of Mike Daggs. And Gerald, interesting, when you get a heavy formation like a 4-3, you have a chance to take a shot.
Oh, definitely. As you see Brandon Ewing, one of those hidden gems that we were just talking about for London, coming up big there, knocking the way. It looked like Mike Daggs had the ball in his hand, and he swatted it away from him. As you saw right there, the undrafted free agent, the cornerback there, coming up with a big play there to bring up 2nd and 10.
11 career interceptions, 14 career pass deflections for Ewing. He had 5 picks last season. Here's Wilson on 2nd and 10, underneath pass to KL Barrett, on time and complete for 6.
And a big hit there by Tanner Hendricks. That could have been a first down play if that ball would have got there a little quicker. But Tanner Hendricks showing speed here in this third quarter with this closing speed, knocking down a pass earlier in this quarter. Comes up with a big open field tackle there, brings up 3rd and 4.
4 down lineman, nickel look out of London. 3 wide for Wilson. He is going to sling it across the middle. Caught. First down yardage, and into London territory goes KL Barrett.
KL Barrett, Matt Wilson saying, hey, I'm not the only one you're not the only one, Angus, that can throw the ball through a little tight window. He just drops back. Just actually, it looks like the line judge right there had a better chance to make a play on the ball than anybody from London. But it comes up with a first down, and they're moving the football again. This is not what you want to see if you're a London defender.
Split backs, 2 tight ends out there. Daggs on the bottom of your screen with Bentley and Jones in the backfield. They are going to throw it. They'll swing it out to Ray Bentley, and he dropped it.
I think he heard the footsteps of Ciroc Black, that 6'5", 258-pound outside linebacker. Just making sure that I just want to just stay alive for the next play, thank you, and look him up with 2nd and 10.
Some good linebacking cores on these two teams. These defenses are coming out to play. Knights trying to hold Mexico City from any points and keep this thing at a manageable ball game. 49 to go here in the third. Here is Wilson to sling it again. Near side, that one is caught. Mike Daggs on the out route. First down yardage to the 27, doing work over there on Brandon Ewing.
Mike Daggs, just a great overall tight end in this league. Just a little stop route, just coming back for the football. Great awareness there with Wilson, and just once again, just the timing route. You just saw that. He turned around, the ball was there. Perfect execution there by the Mexico City offense.
Gun straight look here. Dime out of the London Knights. Wilson in the shotgun to throw it. Plenty of time, heaves this one deep, and it's collected down to the 3-yard line. KL Barrett is good for the first down.
Nostradamus of the broadcast, I was talking about KL Barrett was being quiet here, and just comes up with 2 absolutely huge catches that bring the Mexico City Aztecs inside the 5.
That will take us to the end of the third quarter. Mexico City out in front and in control. Can they finish this one off? We will see after a short break. This is the Simulation Football League on FTF. We'll be right back. back here in London, England. Fours are up in the chat. The fourth quarter will begin. We've flipped ends of the field, and Mexico City had to walk the distance as they are down to 1st and goal. They have 2 backs in the backfield, and it's not a question of where they're going. It's more of a question of who gets the ball. Wilson under center, Bentley at fullback. They'll give it to Phoenix Jones, and he stood up and dropped. London was ready for that.
London was definitely ready for that, as Rock Black was there to make the hit right at the line of scrimmage. This is a big defensive stand here for London. You have Dean Sammy, Chris Joseph Davidson, Roland Gagne, Black, Scarborough, Hendricks, Ewing, Blackman, Reed, and Barkley. They need to come up big.
Give Jones. They do not come up big. Phoenix Jones does, though, and it's 6 more for the Aztecs.
Phoenix Jones' 3rd rushing touchdown. As you saw, great blocking there. Bentley could have went through that hole with the score. A great drive once again by Mexico City in this second half. May have just put this game out of reach with London's offensive struggles. But great drive by Mexico City, only running on the last 2 plays, I believe.
Yeah, lots of passing. They had 7 straight passing plays accompanied by 2 rushing plays to make it a 9-play, 79-yard drive with the 3-yard rushing touchdown from Phoenix Jones to cap it off, and then the extra point from Varner extends this lead to 12 points with 10:34 to go. Tyler Falk and Tom Rahman running the stats truck for us. We appreciate you, gentlemen, along with everyone who works here at SFL Studios to get these games going each week. Cole Varner tees it up and kicks it off, and the Knights are going to bring this out of the end zone, out across the 20-yard line, no further. Yellow handkerchief on the field, though. I believe our first penalty of the game, and Gerald, we're going to have to check what that is.
That's a holding call, which I believe is going to go against the Knights, which is going to put them back. This is actually the second accepted penalty, and both of them have been on the Knights. One was that defensive pass interference call on the first drive of the second half, in which Mexico City scored on. So they're not making them, they're shooting themselves in the foot here. They can't afford to be doing that down 12.
10.5 to go here in the fourth. 1st and 10 from the London 12-yard line. 3 backs in the backfield. Merrill is the furthest back. They will flip it out to him on that left-hand side. Merrill, with a little bit of room, has first down yardage to the 27.
Great play there by Merrill to get on the outside and to outrun the defenders following him. Looked like he was going to be stopped short, but he just turned on the afterburners. As you see, he had 3 defenders coming in. They just took the wrong angle and forces Jeffrey Daggers to come up with the stop.
That will give them a new set of downs there. Merrill, the receiver turned running back. Very effective in the passing game for the London Knights. Angus McLean is facing a 2-possession deficit. Still plenty of time. All 3 timeouts for the Knights. Trying to get down the field as quick as possible. And Merrill gets blown up there. And we have an update from Fort Worth and Louisiana. What do you have for us, Cam?
Mike, hashtag Pickler problems.
Yeah, Cam, defense is still the order of the day. You see here Pickler dropping back and looking to his left. Aiden Davis with a big leaping interception to keep the Toros in this ballgame.
And now the Toros are inside the 5, and London's got a 3rd and long coming up. Back to Andy, Gerald, Tom, Tyler, the rest of the crew in London.
Tight defensive game over there. Both games in this slate have been tough battles, and it is 7-6 over there, and it is 21-9 over here, as the Aztecs have kind of stepped forward in front of the Knights. Knights facing a 3rd and long here. McLean will start under center, 4 wide, short drop. Gonna throw here, caught, turning around is Zek, and he can't get to the first down marker. Jeffrey Daggs plants his feet and drops Zek right at the line to gain.
If you're Justin Zek, you need to get past the line. You need to get past the first down line and then give your quarterback the target. 4th and 1, and a punting situation here for London. And that's not what you want to see here if you're a London fan.
Kick is away, and Bartley will only get to the 24, and London's going to have to call on their defense again, Gerald.
Yeah, and their defense has got to be tired. They've been on the field quite a lot here in this second half with 2 long touchdown drives by the Aztecs here. Another big drive, another great play calling drive here by Mexico City can put this game away. Let's see if London can step up and stop them.
4-3 look here out of the London defense with a cornerback walked up against Twins here up to the top of your screen. Give right side, Phoenix Jones with plenty of room. Phoenix Jones! He's off to the races now down the Mexico City sideline to the 48.
Great blocking there, not only by the offensive line, but you had Fox Highland doing some great blocking downfield. As you saw there, just springing them open, and that is a killer play if you're the London defense. Maybe they were looking for the pass because they were pass happy on that last drive and just caught him unawares, and Phoenix Jones makes him pay.
2 in the backfield again. Here is the give to Ray Bentley right up the gut. Bentley goes nowhere. It'll be 2nd and 9. Mexico City still outside of field goal range, Gerald. They need that first down to get close.
Using Phoenix Jones as a little bit of a decoy. Ray Bentley found no room to go. They actually gave him a yard there, just on London's side of the midfield stripe. It's 2nd and 9.
3 receivers wide. The tight end there is working out of the slot. That's Mike Daggs. Wilson under center, trying to use as much of the play clock as he can. Will take the snap. Pressure coming, and down goes Wilson. A perfectly timed sack for the London Knights. Boy, does that feel good if you're a Knights fan, as William Davidson rings home.
William Davidson had a sack last week, comes up with his 2nd of the game, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. Wilson saw him coming, tried to step up in the pocket, could not find a receiver, and makes it 3rd and 13.
Shotgun look, 4 receivers wide. If you're Wilson, you can't force anything here. You got to trust your defense. Wilson, pressure coming, unloads, and it's almost picked off. Ooh, Jeff Gagne almost had 2 for the day.
That big play by Jeff Gagne looked a little bit rushed, a little bit more happy feet there by Matt Wilson, I thought. But London holds. We'll see if the special teams unit here from Mexico City can pin London deep and make them go the length of the field here to get it back within a 1-score game. Field goals don't help right now if you're London. You need touchdowns.
Here is the kick from Mexico City. It is away. Zach will bring it off of the 10. Spins. Nice return out to the 23. Well, Gerald Angus McLean, 23 of 34 today. He played well last week. Let's look at some of the highlights.
Yeah, he did play great last week. 35 of 42. Not many yards though with 42 attempts. 219 yards, but only 7 incompletions for the day. 2 touchdowns and only 1 interception. Had an absolutely fantastic day in the win against the DC Dragons, and I was up against it here in the 4th quarter as a pick already, but he needs to get everybody more involved in the game. Need to get the ball into the hands of maybe Justin Zek or Benji Madsen down the field.
Saren Storm, also a weapon, has not been used too often. The longest passing play for the London Knights was a 21-yard completion to Vin Kalia. They're going to need a lot of those as they find themselves 77 yards away from their first touchdown of the game, and they need 2 of them to overtake this Mexico City offense. 2 in the backfield, and here is McLean. Pumps once, going to dump it on a high floater out to Merrill, who gets nowhere.
Actually loses a yard. Great coverage there by the linebacking core. Casey Horrell and I believe it was Dexter Jackson on that play. You can't be throwing the ball laterally here in this late stage of the game. You have to go North-south, not east-west.
I 100% agree with you. 2 receivers wide, split back look here. McLean to throw it again. Pressure coming. Unloads out of the backfield to Merrill. Merrill with a few more yards this time. Will make it 3rd and 6.
Jackson comes up with the stop. I believe that's going to be his either 8th or 9th tackle of the game. And now it's a big 3rd and 6 here. London 3 for 12 right now on 3rd downs. That's not going to get it done. They need a 4th one, and they need it quick.
4 receivers wide. McLean stands in the pocket, throws, tipped away, incomplete. And I think you got to consider going for this, but Zarin Pryor with the deflection.
Zarin Pryor reaching backwards to tip that pass away. Even if it was completed, that wouldn't have been enough for a 1st down. They got to start throwing the ball deeper downfield. This game is going to be over really quick. The London defense is just sucking wind. They've been on the field a lot in this second half. And they got to come up with another big stop here.
JT Delaney on to kick this one away. Mexico City will not try and block it. They instead will set up for the return. Bartley spins out of 1 and finds himself already at the London Knights 36-yard line, and a field goal would all but put this one away.
A field goal would probably put it away. A touchdown would definitely put it away. They only need about 30 yards here to get in field goal range here. This is a big defensive play, big defensive drive here for London. They need to stop.
4 receivers wide, 4-3 look out of the London Knights. Here is Wilson. His 30th pass of the game is complete to Jones, and Jones will pick up a field goal would make it a 15-point difference, which would just still be 2 scores with a 2-point conversion. So I misspoke a little bit there, but so far, for London, with the time that would come off the clock, it certainly would be much more difficult.
Definitely, and they're just all Mexico City really has to do is just take care of the football. Don't make any silly mistakes. You don't turn the ball over, and put it in the hands of your defense, who's actually been playing fantastic this whole game.
Ray Bentley sets them up for 3rd and 8.
And Mexico City's having a decent thing on 3rd down conversions. They're 5 of 9 right now and have 19 first downs in the game. They're looking for number 20 here to keep that clock moving, get in field goal range.
Here is Wilson to throw on 3rd and 8. Caught for 1st down yardage right there across the middle. It's a pivotal completion. It's the first catch of the game for Nicholas Daggs, and there's no better time than that right there.
What a play for the free agent signing to come up with, making a 1st down. A big play there for Mexico City to keep this drive and, more importantly, keep the clock rolling.
4 wide. Wilson in the shotgun here. Going to throw again. Fires out to the outside. That is caught by Barrett. Good for 7. Week 3 begins next Saturday on the 11 Sports Network and the FTF Twitch channel as the Denver Nightwings welcome back the Baltimore Vultures to the Mile High City. Then St. Louis visits Louisiana in a rivalry full of conversation. Bonus coverage includes Carolina versus Florida and Lone Star versus Houston. Coverage starts at 4:30 Eastern. The SFL on 11 Sports. Football season is only just beginning. 2 in the backfield on 2nd and 3. Just over 4 minutes to go here in this ball game. Handoff to Phoenix Jones. Bottled there at the 46.
Tanner Hendricks says hello. Puts the shoulder pad right between the numbers and absolutely depletes Phoenix Jones, bringing up 3rd and 4. Big hit.
Hendricks, that's his 2nd one of the day where he has just laid it out on someone. And let's see if London can get a pivotal stop here on 3rd and 4 to give their offense another opportunity. Wilson under center. Bentley offset to the left here to the bottom of your screen along with Jones. They will give Ray Bentley up the middle. Bentley! Dagger! 1st down, Aztecs.
Unbelievable run by the veteran. Just looked like he was going to get stopped and then just kept. That's just drive and determination right there. and maybe a little bit of London's defense getting worn out. But what a first down run there by Ray Bentley.
That first down will leak more time off the clock and will give Mexico City a lot of comfort in feeling like they have this one in hand, although they still have to kill the clock, and nothing is out of the realm of possibility in the Simulation Football League. Handoff Ray Bentley. Bentley holding on to that ball tight. Did have a fumble last week, Gerald.
Put two arms around that football this time, and comes up with a 2nd and 8. That might just be the last play here going into the 2-minute warning. And what a turnaround for this Mexico City offense here in this second half. After struggling really the last couple games, has come out with the second half, and the adjustments have worked perfectly for Mexico City.
2 in the backfield again. Bentley right in front of Phoenix Jones. They don't have to snap it before the 2-minute warning. They will, though, give to Jones off this left side. It won't matter. Jones with a first down. A huge play, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Phoenix Jones, run us out. Back here in London, England, Andy Hamilton along with Gerald Giudicetti with you for Mexico City and the London Knights. Aztecs, another first down here, just on the edge of the 2-minute warning, gives them the opportunity, Gerald, to finish this one off if they hold on to the football. Give to Jones up the middle. Jones will pick up 6.
What? Just a great running by Phoenix Jones. And for all your car enthusiasts who like the Barrett Jackson cars or Barrett Jackson car shows, we have the Barrett Jones show tonight. Kyle Barrett, 115 yards receiving on 10 catches, and that run puts Phoenix Jones at 119 yards on 16 carries. Just a phenomenal offensive performance by those two.
2 in the backfield. They give to Jones again right up the middle. Next week on the For the Fans Network, we get you ready for the big game from Tampa with the SFL Championship experience. 4-time champ Queen City hosts the Season 14 champion Atlanta, and then a rematch of the Season 5 Championship Classic between DC and this Mexico City Aztecs team. Coverage starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. The SFL on For the Fans. Football season is only just beginning next Sunday in Week 3. Handoff, Ray Bentley, first down!
That's pretty much going to ice the game. and who better to put it in the hands of your 8-season vet, Ray Bentley, and just absolutely just blows a hole. The offensive line just absolutely wearing down the front seven of London. It was amazing.
The Aztecs are going to move forward here, and all things considered, knee this one out and take their third victory here in this stadium against this London Knights team. They won in Season 15, 23-17. They won in Season 10 here, 27-21, and they will escape tonight, most likely with a 21-9 victory.
Big-time players make big-time plays, and Barrett and Jones have done that. 3 touchdowns for Phoenix Jones. Great defensive play by Mexico City. This is a total team effort.
And the Knights defense played pretty well too. 21 points against this potent offense, I would say, is a successful evening. The offense struggled to get going. They certainly will go back in the weekend practice and try and figure out if they can get something going. We've got an update from Fort Worth and Louisiana. What do you have for us, Cam?
Mike, Fort Worth does it again in Louisiana.
Yeah, Cam, Louisiana's offense struggled mightily all day long. Aiden Davis here with an interception late in the ball game to put it away for Fort Worth.
Game finished in record time. Fort Worth gets the upset 9-7. We're back to post-game after things wrap up in London.
Big game there, Gerald. Louisiana moving to 0-2. Fort Worth goes to 1-1. These Aztecs go to 1-1 along with the Knights. Lots of parity in the Simulation Football League. These close games sometimes can decide who gets in and who misses the playoffs. Louisiana with a good playoff run last season, starting 0-2 this year.
0-2 is something you really don't want to start here in a 12-game season. Put you behind the proverbial 8-ball really early in the season, and that's not what you want.
Ramos Lynn brings the Mexico City Aztecs here to London across the pond, and in the battle of two of our international teams, the Aztecs come out on top with a 21-9 victory. 3 early turnovers, Gerald, but the second half was pretty clean.
Yeah, the second half was definitely clean. And look at the stat there at the half. Mexico City only had a 6-second time advantage, and they ended up with more than 6, almost 7 more minutes of time of possession. And that basically is the stat of the half. They just controlled the field and controlled the pace of play the whole second half. Great defensive play calling, and just power running like right here from Phoenix Jones, who I think is going to be your player of the game, just dragging defenders in the end zone. 17 carries, 119 yards, and those 3 scores. You have McLean, who played well for London, 25 of 37 for 188. Matt Wilson, 23 of 32 for 221. But basically what it came down to is London could not find a way to get the ball in the end zone, which absolutely hurt them, especially when they had to settle for that field goal early in the game on that 4th and inches. I think that might have just set the tone for London about not getting in the end zone. But great. Both teams played their hearts out. Defensive for Mexico City, you have Ronnie Watson with 10 tackles. Richard Jackson with 8. You have 11 for Ciroc Black and 9 for Tyler Mac Scarborough. So, all in all, London can't be too upset with it. Just a couple plays here or there could have changed this game, but overall, a good game.
Your player of tonight's game is Phoenix Jones, 17 attempts, 3 touchdowns, all 3 of them for the Mexico City Aztecs. For our stats team, Tom Rahman and Tyler Falk, and for my color commentator, Gerald Giudice, I'm Andy Hamilton. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. The Aztecs escape with a win, and after this, we'll send it back to SFL Studios for analysis. And what's next after these short messages? Stay tuned.
Clear, 4 minutes. Welcome to SFL Post Game. I am Cameron Irvine. He's Mike St. Green. And what first block we had, Mike. Just crazy defense all around. Let's start with the game that most people saw on FTF, 21-9. Mexico City beats London. It was not pretty, but they got it done.
3 touchdowns, 107 yards rushing. Mexico City with a dominant performance in the second half.
Absolutely. They get a big win. They would have been 0-2 going to play that championship rematch with DC. That would have been tough. But they overcome. They get to 1-1. And unfortunately, London doesn't get to start 2-0 in franchise history for the first time. They fall to 1-1. Shocker in Houma, Louisiana. 9-7. That's got to be SFL scoregami. I don't know if I've ever seen a 9-7 final, but that's what Fort Worth did. Again, they beat Louisiana in their house. What is the deal with the Toros against the Revolution? They have their number.
Yeah, I know Louisiana definitely wanted revenge for this game, but hey, Fort Worth came out. Defense played great. Louisiana quarterback Johnny Pickler, he struggled all day long. He only had like 124 yards passing in this game, 3 interceptions, 2 of them by Aiden Davis. Reggie Streeter, league MVP, he had 101 yards, but he earned every one of those 101 yards. I mean, they made it tough on them all day.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get going late, but then Pickler, just 2 costly interceptions, Ben Stone and Aiden Davis down the line. Fort Worth gets a win. What a crazy season Fort Worth's had. 17-14 last week, and they throw a pick in the end zone. Otherwise, they would have tied or won. And then this week, they win at 9-7. They are living dangerously now at 1-1.
Yeah, they're struggling coming out of the gate offensively. They have the young quarterback, Cam Curtis, his first-year quarterback over there. He's, trying to get his feet under him. So maybe they can get it figured out here moving forward.
Let's see if we can get some more points here in this second block of games. I have a feeling that we will. We've got, coming up, we've got Baltimore and Sioux Falls, the championship rematch. And then we've got, we also have bonus coverage of Atlanta, Vancouver. There should be plenty of points scored here.
Yeah, in the Vancouver-Atlanta game, I do expect a lot of points out of that game. Explosive offense on both sides. Atlanta sporting VDG Hollywood player of the week, offensive player of the week in SFL last week. Vancouver, Kendra Hall had a big game last week also. Offensively, a couple of touchdown catches, returning to Atlanta. So it should be a great offensive game there. Sioux Falls and Baltimore, of course, as we mentioned, the championship game rematch. I don't know if we're going to get a lot of offense here, but hey, it should be an opportunity for it.
And Baltimore is dealing with that northeastern snowstorm. Yes, there is snow in the forecast for the championship rematch. It comes your way next here on the SFL on FTF. This has been your SFL postgame update / pregame show, and we'll see you back here at the half. Me and Mike be watching and monitoring all the action for you around the league. We'll see you then.